Young Dre, this is the future you.
What up, young Dre? So, I'm still in this quasi quarantine bullshit. I call it quasi quarantine because people ain't really quarantining, man. People out here bullshitting, man. You know, they out here wearing their mask, blow their nose, over their mouth, on their top lip. They not really people not really in the house like that. It's a very weird time in this country. So I figured, hey, why not drop another video to my favorite person, me, or the old me, which is you, which is, you get the point, all right? So hopefully this video finds you in some multiverse, preferably around the time when you're getting ready to move to Iowa or right when you move to Iowa. Because this is where your comedy journey begins, in Iowa. Technically, it began 4 or 5 years before that in Philly, but this is where we actually are. This is where we actually hit the ground running, and this is where we actually, hone our chops. Like, this is what we do outside of work, consistently. So the message I have for you today is the following: Emceeing is not hosting. Let me say that again. Emceeing is not hosting. Let me break it down further for you. All right. So when you host a show, that means that your name is on the flyer. That means that your name is on the marquee. That means that people are there to hear your jokes. That means that the venue and the booker are selling you as a group product with what they're trying to sell when you're the host. But when you MC a show, nigga, you just a dude that's bringing motherfuckers up. All right? So why am I making a distinction between all this? Well, so here's what happens to me, okay? So what happens to me is I start Iowa on the ground floor, and I work my way up to the top or to the middle because I don't even get to the top. I don't even know where the top is, shit. But I'm in Iowa or whatever. I'm doing all the open mics. I'm a patron supporter of the local comedy club. I do all the contests. I place in all the contests or whatever. And after like my third or fourth contest of placing, the booker comes up to me after the show and he's like, "Hey man, I like you. You're funny. I want you to MC my club." And I'm thinking at the moment, I'm like, yes, this is it. This is definitely it. That's my Ray Stantz voice from Ghostbusters, by the way. Anyways, I'm thinking that, this is it. Like I'm on my way, So I was not on my way because I didn't know what emceeing really meant, right? I had to experience what it meant, which is why I'm sharing this experience with you. So we start to MC the shows or the shows or whatever. Like we become the house MC as they call it, and I'm proud at this moment, man. Like I got my chest out and shit. I'm like I'm the house MC of this comedy club and shit, And every show or before every show, they give me just more announcements. They just keep piling on more and more announcements. Like one week I had 13 announcements. Then the following week I had 15 announcements. And it just gets up to like 19 announcements. And it gets to the point where the headliner and the feature are like, "Yo, dude, man, why are you doing so many announcements, man? Like, dude, that's too many announcements." I'm like, "Look, man, it's not my show. I got to do what they want me to do." So what I kind of realized was when I was doing my material, I'm not going to say I was killing with my material, but I just noticed that the more comfortable I got with doing my material, that's when I got more announcements. You know what I mean? So to me, looking back at that retrospectively, that was their way of saying, "Look, motherfucker, we don't want to hear your jokes. We want you to just get up there and, have fun with the audience, and do the announcements and bring the people up. All right. So, long story short, what happens is I get forced out by a nemesis, quote unquote. I'm not gonna. And the thing that's weird was the booker and the club owner didn't like this motherfucker, but I get forced out by him, which is, hey, that's just business, So, that whole experience broke me a little bit because, like, I thought I was there. I thought I was on my way, I thought I was climbing that ladder to get to the top, and as a matter of fact, the dude that I replaced used to drive in from Chicago, and he told me about a legendary comedian that told him about the whole Emceeing shit. He was like, "Hey man, once you get your MC joint, it's like your club membership." He's like, "Once you get your membership, you in the club. So now you in the club, now you can climb," And it was kind of like that Louis Anderson moment from Coming to America when he was like, in the McDowell's talking about some, hey, he's like, see, now I'm washing lettuce, but soon I'll be on fries. It's kind of like that whole vibe, And at that moment, I kind of realized that, okay, this is probably some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But what I want you to do, Dre, young Dre, is when you come across this, what I want you to do is I want you to have fun with the announcements. All right? I want you to have fun with the announcements. Fuck your material. All right? Throw your material. Look, yeah, of course, go to the open mics, work out your material, work on your jokes, work on your craft. But when you get to the show, I want them shows for you to be no stress. I want you just to have fun with the announcements, man. If they give you 19 announcements, do the fucking 19 announcements and bring them motherfuckers up. If they give you 25 announcements, do all 25 announcements. And then, I don't know why my voice is getting high, but bring them motherfuckers up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just have fun with this shit. Because, like, you make that, like, look, this version of you turn that shit into an 8-hour job. Like, you were learning material, working out your craft, working out your jokes, trying to get brought up to the right music. And then, you were trying to organize and fit all the announcements in a certain order to where people could remember them better. And so it would help the flow of the show, and you did all this shit just for them to be like, nah, take that announcement out and do these 5 announcements. So nigga, just have fun with them announcements, man. Make the announcements the jokes. Have fun with that shit. And I know it sounds like cooning, but it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because it's only cooning when you sell other people out. But when you sell only yourself out, sometimes you got to sell yourself out, Like I'm thinking about it, right? You got a lot of motherfuckers out here working 9-to-5 jobs, doing shit they don't want to do to get that check. Same shit, they got to do it, right? So what I'm saying is basically when you MC, it's a job, When you MC, it's a job. Treat it like a fucking job, but have fun with the job, right? Have fun with that shit. You know what I mean? So, like, for example, like, you could, like, do little dumb shit like this, right? Like, for example, you could do some shit like, hey, guys, welcome to the announcement part of the show where I got to do these 19 announcements for you. Oh, wait a minute. I think I have more. Do we have 5 more announcements? Are you sure? 2 more announcements? Going once. Okay, cool. And then get to the announcements and shit. That might get you fired, but nigga, have fun with the shit. Or you could do some shit like, make that a joke, right? Be like, hey y'all, man, the club owner and the booker, man, they full of shit, man. They cool, but they full of shit, because they want me to do 19 announcements. And I asked my booker, I said, hey, do you know the club owner's number? And he pulled his phone out. I said, no. I said, put your phone away. What's his phone number? He goes, I don't remember numbers like that. That's too many digits. I said, motherfucker, you want me to remember 19 announcements? And you can't remember 10 numbers? Boom. Laughter. Have fun with the shit. Sell the shit. Like, If they selling pizza, nigga be like, hey, bring a slice of pizza on stage and eat that shit. And be like, man, it's some good pizza, man. Y'all missing out on the shit. But I gotta get a drink too to wash it down, but that's not covered under my payment. So I gotta pay for this drink. So make sure when y'all get this pizza, get a drink with this shit. Like you gotta do little shit like that. Make the announcement fun, man. Like kind of be an asshole, but make this shit fun. So that's all I'm saying, man. Just, what I want you to do is when you get in that phase of your life, just know that it's a personal ladder, right? Because what you're doing at that time is you're honing your skills and your craft to deal with bullshit. And the more you can have fun with bullshit, the easier this shit is going to be. I'm just telling you. Because you're going to deal with some bullshit in your life. But when you can have fun while you're dealing with the bullshit, that's when you own to something. That's when you're going to be somebody. You know what I mean? So anyways, what was I going to tell you? But with that being said, in the future, so first I want you to go through this experience and have fun and experience all this, right? But after you go through this experience, if someone comes up to you and asks you to MC a show, I want your inner response to be, nah, fuck that, motherfucker. But I want your external response to be, oh, thank you, but no thank you. Because we've been there already. So, in conclusion, emceeing is not hosting. I hope you get this. I